I often talk about the importance of holding space for your emotions and how that's a big part of shadow work, of emotional mastery, of being able to create the life that you desire. But I recently came to realize that that may not necessarily be obvious what it means to hold space for your emotions. It sounds good, right? And I personally understand what I mean when I'm saying hold space for your emotions. But maybe not everybody gets it like I do. So that's why I've decided to come here today and briefly explain what it means to hold space for your emotions. But first, who am I? Natalie White, the face behind Saturnish. And labels. I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? I do shadow work. I help guide you through your unconscious gunk to help you clear it out so that you don't get lost in it, so that you can create a life that feels good to you to live, so that you're not driven by your unconscious emotions. I help you gain greater emotional mastery. I help you feel better. I don't know. There's so many things I could say. It's always so difficult for me to make it sweet and simple. I'm not good at being concise or summarizing things. um, so I use tarot, astrology, human design, different tools, and my own personal knowledge to help you feel better, live a better life that you want to live. So let's get to it. Let's get talking about the holding space for your emotions. So what does it mean to hold space for your emotions? In order to understand that, I feel it's important for us to discuss how there's two different levels to understanding. We have the mental level, the intellectual level, where we, take in information and then we know something. We understand it intellectually with our mind. It's the theory of something. And then the other level is like a deeper level. I think of it as emotional understanding or experiential understanding, practical knowledge, where we've applied it and we have experienced what it means, what it feels. That's what we mean, or what we're talking about when we talk about the aha moments. The aha moment is it went from intellectual knowledge and it like fell into the emotional knowledge where we go, oh, that's what that means. So now if we think of the mind versus the emotions, the mind exists in the mental level and the intellectual level. The mind can understand past, the mind can understand future, the mind understands conceptual theories that doesn't need to experience them on the physical level. It can flitter about in the airy realm of thought, of knowledge, of, what if. Our emotions exist in the physical level, on the body level. We have to experience them in order to process them, in order to gain that it's like a real world knowledge. It's feeling it, touching it, tasting it. It's having it happen in your physical reality in the present moment. The emotions only know the present moment. Now, the holding space for your emotions comes when you work with your mind and your emotions together, because oftentimes we do sort of have this push and pull in a sense, where we're trying to ex- um, experience our reality, kind of go by our minds. We are conditioned to use our minds to logically understand all that stuff, that we are aware of in the spiritual teachings, and we talk about a lot. And this conditioned mind that tries to make sense of things will tell stories. It will understand the theory of emotion. It will understand the concept of what it means to feel emotions, but it doesn't actually feel the emotions. The emotions happen when we go to the body, when we feel the energetic pulse and movement of the emotions. That's it's a little hard to put into words, but that's sort of the difference between those. And it can be difficult to go into that emotional space. For one, because we've conditioned ourselves to not go there. We've conditioned ourselves to ignore our emotional experience, to use our mind, to, hold it back, to make our focus ourselves on what we think, what we have been taught is what we should do, the best way to navigate the world, all that stuff. And feeling our emotions can feel quite dangerous because our emotions, in a sense, they only live in the present moment. That's all they can do is know they're now. So when you're feeling sad, that's all your emotional body knows. It can't understand, in a sense, that there is anything other than this feeling here in this moment. And we have ignored our emotions for a long time, especially when we have our acceptable emotions that we're okay with feeling, and the ones that we aren't, we haven't allowed ourselves to feel. So there's a lot there. And okay, so sorry, there's a lot of the concept that I can go into explaining of how it works and all that stuff, but bringing it back, let me bring it back to holding space for the emotions. So it's difficult to allow ourselves to go into feeling these feelings that we haven't allowed ourselves to feel, because it sort of feels like, well, if I feel this, it's going to be this way forever. If I allow myself to go there, it feels like that's all there could be. And like I said, in a sense, it's true. As you're feeling the feeling, since your emotions don't know past and future, it is kind of like forever. So there is an emotional logic, an emotional truth to that feeling of, oh, this is going to feel like this forever. Forever in this moment anyway. Very true. That is where our minds come in. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying holding space for your emotions. Your mind understands the past versus the future. The concept of it, it is a mental construct, but it is true in the sense that nothing lasts forever. Nothing stays the same forever. The now moment is always evolving. Right now it's like this, and the next now may or may not be like this. Things evolve. Things are constantly in flux. Things are constantly changing. So just because something exists as it is in this one moment doesn't mean that it's going to be held exactly like this forever. It can't. The nature of reality is that things evolve. So with our minds, we can understand the mental concept, the theory that no emotion will last forever in the mind's mental understanding of past and future. So that's the space. That's your mind holding you in the feeling of, oh my God, This is going to kill me. This is going to destroy me. This is going to rip me apart from the inside. Your mind can understand that that's not the ultimate truth, that that's not how it is, that it will change, that it will process, that it will evolve. No matter how it feels right now, it is going to end. So that's the space. It's a mental space. It's the theoretical mental space that where you can tell yourself that it's okay to feel like this is going to destroy me. It's okay for me to feel like this is going to last forever. I can feel like it's horrible. I can feel like it's going to kill me, but I know it's not going to, theoretically, intellectually. So it's okay for my emotions to feel that fear. It's okay for my emotions to go there. So that's what I mean when I'm saying holding space. It's your mind coming in and taking um its oh, what's the word? I can't think of the word. I want to say rightful, but that's not exactly the word I'm looking for. Taking its true place, the place where it belongs, the way that it was meant to be, where the mind is here to assist you in feeling what you feel. In this inner work, in the shadow work, that's that interplay. You can go into that which seems so horrible because you can understand with your mind that it's okay, even if it feels like that. It doesn't mean it's true. So it gives you this mental container for you to safely go into the emotions that you're feeling. One last thing I want to discuss about holding space for your emotions, and how the mind can help, is that the mind can help direct your focus. So one of the important parts of feeling your feelings is to come back to your body, to feel what you're feeling in your body. Our emotions will be they will move through our bodies as energy, and part of repressing it is using our bodies to hold things back, so you can experience the areas in which you're blocking the emotions as having tension in them. A common place would be your back, where we clench. We use that to toughen up, to hold things in, another one could be our throats, where we're holding back the expression. And so we can experience it as a blockage in our throat that doesn't allow energy to move. So our minds can help us in this holding space for our emotions by directing our attention to our body, by checking in with the physical sensations that we feel. What is it? You ask yourself, what is it that I'm feeling? Where in my body do I feel something? How does the energy feel? Is it hot? Is it cold? Does it feel like there's a pressure here or there? Does it feel like tingling? Can I not feel a part of it? All of these things are helpful in getting you to feel your emotions. It's bringing your awareness back to your body. And part of holding space is making the mental choice to set aside some time for you to feel what you feel. It seems almost a little silly to say that, and it can be difficult, especially when you're just beginning to do this work, to get in touch with these feelings. They can sort of overtake you at times. However, this can help you to actively work on bringing up things that need to be felt when you have a specific time and space that is appropriate, that is safe, that you can allow yourself to go into the expression of what you're feeling, the feeling of what you're feeling, where you aren't afraid of being interrupted, of, being inappropriate. You can find that time, and then check in with your body. Use your mind to check in with your body, what it's feeling, and then simply allow it to be, and hold the mental space for whatever is going to come up without judging it, without trying to change it, without telling yourself that it should be different. Give yourself the permission to feel what you feel, regardless of how bad or wrong or inappropriate or however you think things should be. Holding space for your emotions means that you allow your emotions to be what they are without judgment, without trying to put a positive spin on it, without trying to convince yourself otherwise. There's a time and a place to do that sort of work, but the holding space for your emotions part of it is for it to simply be what it is. It's important because it's once you're able to completely allow the emotion to move, the energy of the emotion to move around, that's how you process it. And the redirection, the teaching of yourself, whatever it is, the changing of it comes later. First, you have to be able to hold the space for it exactly as it is. And that's where the mind can come in and be very helpful. But you have to choose to let it be what it is. So honestly, I tried to be as quick as I could. This video came out to be a little bit longer than I meant for it to be, but there's a lot that I could say about this, and more concepts that I could probably explain. But the bottom line of holding space for your emotions is allowing your mind to create that container that allows your emotions to simply be what they are, and that directs you to tune into your body. Because feeling your emotions, what does that mean, right? We talk about feeling our emotions, but a lot of us who may be so concentrated in thinking, in mindset, in what in our mental world, we become a little disconnected with what does feeling actually mean. And that's what it is. Bringing your attention to your body and feeling the energy as it moves in you and through you, and allowing it to express whatever it is it has to express without censoring it, without trying to change it. So I hope that this video on what it means to hold space for your emotions is helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment with your question, and I will answer it as best as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.